Hello, welcome from Gamescom 2023. And today we are talking to Renee, who will tell us about Domekeeper.
Yes, hi.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And actually, this year I heard you made an update.
Yeah.
But first, let's talk about the game itself. So, I've heard it's a mix of actually two gaming mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are collecting resources and also defending
Yes.
your city. Explain a bit about that,
Yeah,
please.
yeah. So you got your dome and it gets attacked by waves of monsters and you have to defend. So and that's a little bit stressful and you have to take care that they don't destroy your dome. And if you've done that and you go into the underground, mine for resources, and it's calm and a little bit zen and relaxing and pleasant, you bring those resources up, invest the resources into better mining equipment, into better defense. You can find some interesting things underground. And that's essentially it. Then you defend against the monsters again, go mining again, and you have this nice loop of release tension, like emotional, not really a roller coaster, but a variation. You don't have to be tense all the time.
And how did you come up with the idea to make a game that mixes two totally different game mechanics?
Yeah.
Because normally you have either collecting resources like a
Mhm.
strategy game or being attacked like an action game.
Yeah.
And now you're actually mixing like two genres almost.
Yeah. We made it originally in 3 days in a game jam.
Wow.
And the theme was deeper and deeper. So a lot of mining games popped up. And we also planned to make a very simple game, not be sophisticated about it, not trying to be clever on the theme, but stay very simple, but polish it. And then, okay, let's say we have mining. Why do we mine? In many games, it's just okay. So we mine so we can mine more, or we mine so we can get a high score up. And that was a little bit too boring for me. And I wanted, essentially, in all the games I make, I want to have a motivation for doing things. And here the motivation was okay. How can we invest those resources? Okay, and here it was a threat from the outside. So
Wow.
it was a very kind of a natural, straightforward fit. And it's also two mechanics that are super well known, but in this combination, it feels yeah, fresh enough, a little bit innovative, and that led us to a good spot, I think.
And that also means it's stressful and relaxing at the same time,
Yeah, yeah,
depending on what phase of the game you are.
yes, yeah,
Awesome,
absolutely.
awesome. So you said you wanted in a game jam, so it was never intended to be a full-fledged product in the first place?
Yeah. So generally, we start game jam games with the idea in the back of our minds that we could potentially also build those into larger games. But we don't start a game jam thinking, okay, let's find the next project and make a jam game that is gonna be a big game eventually. And in this case, no one would have foreseen where this would go.
But I also saw you have been nominated.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so it depends for what. So we've been nominated a few times. This year we won the German Computer Game Award for Best Game Design. That was I'm very happy about that because I did the game design. So I'm happy that yeah, we got recognized for that. And also this year in Gamescom in the Indie Arena booth, we got an award for the best game, essentially the best multiplayer game,
Wow.
the best game to play with a friend, and that was also great to get.
Now that you mentioned multiplayer, the special thing here is it's not a DLC.
Yeah.
It's a free update that's released this year for everybody that got the game last year already, right?
Yeah, so we released 1 year ago, and since then we've been making only free content updates all the time. And the latest thing we worked on is multiplayer, and co-op is already playable, but it's not out yet. And we want to do more than local co-op. We want to also add a versus mode, and we also will try to make an online multiplayer. But
Wow.
that's very difficult on the technical side, and I don't know if we will have enough time to do it. But we expect right now that this will release next year, like in a bigger package.
At which point in the development you knew you had something big there that could potentially be a big hit and actually win nominations?
Oh, so we knew we had something special after 3 days because then the jam was over and we saw just people going crazy over it, playing it so long, and also a ton of people playing it. Like usually you have to kind of do a little bit of advertisement. Hey, come play my game. And for Dome Romantic, it was called back then, as a pun on Dorf Romantic. Um, back then, it it sold itself basically. I mean, it was free, but people came in just by themselves. So we knew we had something that people are excited for, but of course we didn't know this would be a successful game. We always took it step by step.
Do you have any classic gaming from the 70s or 80s? I mean, when I read about the game concept, it reminds me a bit of Missile Command,
Yeah.
being attacked from aliens.
Mm. Yeah, there are a lot of games that people associate with that. But usually these are not the inspirations for the game. I didn't play Missile Command. I also like a lot of people come with Motherload, which was a Flash games with a mining mechanic. But I didn't play all these games, so it just came out of the game jam. But the design influences here were more Into the Breach or Kingdom, for example. Um, and those are not super obvious. Kingdom, I guess, even more so because it also has this two-phase gameplay of a battle time and relaxing time.
Awesome. You said the original development time was 40 days. Did you?
3 days.
Oh, 3 days.
Yeah.
Okay. The 40 days was the total development with polishing up, or did I
No.
misunderstand that?
Yeah, yeah.
Because you said 40 at some point.
Okay, I don't recall that, but yeah, it was 3 days in the gym. And then we worked a few months on it in our free time. We were just hobbyists back then. And then we got signed by Raw Fury. And then we took 9 months to develop it until release. And release was about a year ago.
Awesome. So, is there any estimate when you will release the co-op? Any planning?
Yeah, we plan for next year, but we don't have a very strictly laid out schedule. We essentially develop things until they are good enough, and then we plan for release. So we do have Dome went really well, so we have the luxury of not needing to put out an update by then or else go bankrupt. So we can, as long as the people keep buying Dome, we can make a few free upgrades,
Awesome.
updates essentially.
Are there any plans for future updates you can talk about that are not secret?
Yeah, actually, we will make a very big anniversary update in the beginning of October. In Dome Keeper right now, you have 2 domes, and we will do an update where we add 2 more domes. So it's a very significant update, essentially doubling the amount of domes. The Artillery Dome and the Tesla Dome will be the new ones.
Awesome. That's amazing. What was the key point of deciding to not use it to market as a DLC? I mean, that is something, especially on Steam,
Yeah.
publishers are doing, or even develop studios do it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, so essentially releasing a DLC, a paid DLC is good because you will earn a little bit more money. And we kind of push for it, not doing it, at least right now, which is not maybe the best business decision, but the players appreciate it, and we feel that, or let me say it like this. Initially, we wanted to have more things in Dome Keeper on release. This wasn't possible due to the kind of all the events you have to go to, so we had to cut some content. And now we try to bring it to a state where we can be really proud of the content, the amount of content for the price point. So I want to do this first until it's a really good package, and then there could be a paid DLC.
Reminds me a bit of No Man's Sky that is still in development
Yeah.
after 7 years with more and more content updates.
Yeah, I don't want to do 7 years though.
Okay, all right, all right. What's the platforms you are planning to release it still, or where is it already available?
Yeah, right now it's on Steam. It also plays great on Steam Deck. It's Steam Deck verified. And in the future, we will look into Nintendo Switch and Xbox at least. Maybe there will be a mobile kind of Dome Keeper eventually, but that's all like a bit further in the future. We don't have
Awesome.
a set release date on
Awesome.
anything
You're
yet.
pretty flexible on everything. I see.
Yeah,
Nice,
yeah.
nice,
I don't
nice.
like to plan like too strictly ahead because sometimes I think that's where a lot of pain in the games industry comes from. That people say, yeah, in 1 year we will release this,
Yeah.
and then half a year passes, and then they realize, okay, we can't make it. Now we crunch, or we can't make it, and now we release a half finished game.
That's true.
Yes, and I try to be flexible with these things because of that.
Awesome. So thanks for the information and the answer. I wish you very much success with your co-op release, and
Thanks.
hopefully, as you said, you resolve all the technical possibilities to
Yeah.
make all the co-op modes and multiplayer modes you wish for.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.